Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. This is a public meeting and there are no lettings or no hearings today. So I would ask that only members of this board be allowed to speak unless recognized by myself or the secretary. At this time, I'll ask the secretary to please call the roll.
Director Dace,
Present.
Director Flake,
Present.
Director Hayes,
Present.
Director Patel,
Present.
Director Pearson,
Present.
President Bradley.
Present. We have a quorum. I will call this meeting in order.
From the President, recommendation that approval be given as follows. An ordinance recommended by the Board of Public Service establishing multiple public works and improvement projects for the Cass Avenue Multimodal Corridor Transformation Phase 1, Traffic Management Enhancement Phase 9, and the Christie Greenway Phase 2 within the City of St. Louis. This ordinance also authorized the City of St. Louis to enter into
Hey, Anna.
supplemental agreements with the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission, the Federal Highway Administration, Utilities, Railroads, the Bi-State Development Agency, the LCRA, the Great Rivers Greenway District, and other government agencies and parties as necessary for the completion of the project. Maintenance agreement between the City of St. Louis and the Boeing Company and in consideration of the approval of sewer plans of the issuance of a sewer permit by MSD for stormwater management facilities, according to the plans approved by MSD. Supplemental agreement number 4 to PSA number 1229, Lindbergh Tunnel Inspection with WSP USA Inc. in the amount of $212,803. This supplemental agreement is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by various ordinance numbers to be submitted as task orders are issued. From the Office of Special Events, request for the following to be approved, subject to certain conditions. There are 8 special events to be declared as festival zones. St. Louis Veg Fest will take place at Forest Park on October 5th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Setup and teardown will begin at 6 a.m. and end at 8 p.m. The Gateway Fashion Show will take place on 14th Street between Montgomery and St. Louis Avenue on October the 11th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Feast of St. Cecilia Parade will take place on the street surrounding 906 Eichelberger on November 22nd from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Movie night in the park with Trunk or Treat will take place at Francis Park on October 18th from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Italian American Heritage Parade and Festa will take place at Barra Park and the streets throughout the Hill on October the 11th from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. and on October 12th from noon to 5 p.m. Setup and teardown will begin on October 10th at 4 p.m. and end on October 13th at 8 a.m. Ivanhoe Street Party will take place on Ivanhoe between Scanlon and Bradley on October 12th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Cherokee Street Jazz Crawl and Second Line Parade will take place on Cherokee between Compton and Illinois on November 8th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Winterfest 5K will take place on the streets throughout downtown on November 22nd from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action for the following. All labor and equipment to remove existing equipment and steel superstructure, and proceed with the fabrication and purchase of all replacement parts and new equipment for Whitwell 2 at the Howard Bend Water Treatment Plant. The estimated cost of this work is $380,000. Refurbish the rotating assembly for Pump 3 at the distributive building located at the Chain of Rocks Water Treatment Plant. The estimated cost of this work is $40,000. Scaffolding, dismantling for valve and piping work at the Howard Bend Water Treatment Filter Plant. The estimated cost of this work is $8,791.44. From the Director of Streets, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Sugar Witch Holdings, LLC, to encroach with tables and chairs for a sidewalk cafe utilizing 442 square feet within the triangle created by the intersection of West Cortos, Virginia, and Ivy Street at 7726 Virginia. Request by Greenfinch Theater LLC doing business as Greenfinch Theater and Dive to encroach with tables and chairs utilizing 160 square feet with liquor at 2521 South Jefferson Avenue. From the Directors of Public Utilities, Streets and Human Services, request by Delmar Divine, Phase 2 LLC for public improvements at 5558 Enright Avenue. The proposed improvements involve the renovation of existing building for both residential and office use, along with an addition of a new parking lot. Work within the right-of-way will include utility connections, new sidewalks, and curbs. From the Directors of Public Utilities, Streets, and Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Barnes Jewish Hospital for public improvements at 4929 Forest Park Avenue. The proposed improvements involve the installation of approximately 2,707 feet of 2-inch PVC conduit intended to house a new electrical feed that will power BJC signs located along Forest Park Avenue. Request by MSD for public improvement at 10,000 Riverview Drive. The proposed improvements will involve the construction of approximately 35 linear feet of 72-inch diameter reinforced concrete pipe storm sewer, the installation of 7,880 square feet of sheet pile, and 2,800 square feet of bank stabilization, along with necessary appurtenances. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Ameren Missouri to replace existing poles and install new ones in the alley to accommodate new customer services at 4210 Manchester Avenue. Joint recommendation that 4 applications from AT&T be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 119 for 4101 Clayton Avenue. Application number 120 for 1925 Shoto Avenue. Application number 131 for 5020 Waterman Boulevard. Application number 132 for 315 North 11th Street. We have 4 applications from MCI Metro to be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 113 for 1501 Orchard Avenue. Application number 121 for 525 South Jefferson Avenue. Application number 122 for 2650 Olive Street. Application number 124 for 4040 Duncan Avenue. We have 2 applications from Missouri Network Alliance to be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 116 for 4355 South Broadway. Application number 117 for 4300 North Broadway. We have 7 conditional use permits from the Director of Public Safety.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Sandra Long, Plan Examiner for the city, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner at today's meeting. For Board Order number 766, transmitted herewith, a recommendation for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 5 applications: 6166 Delmar Boulevard, 3613 Bates Street, 7704 Ivory Avenue, 1310 North Grand, 2309 Cherokee Street, first floor. Denial is recommended for 2 applications: 1823 McLaren Avenue and 2323 South Jefferson Avenue. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted.
Thank you, Sandra. Are there any questions or comments on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve, Hayes.
Second, Days.
Thank you, Directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Days,
Aye.
Director Flake,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Thank you. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. Are there any questions or any comments on the meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
So moved, Days.
Second, Flake.
Thank you, Directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Days,
Aye.
Director Flake,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson.
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Thank you. today's agenda. Are there any questions or comments on today's BPS meeting agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
So moved, Pearson.
Second Patel.
Thank you, directors, and I will call for previous roll. Is there any objection to the use of previous roll? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. Thank you. Before we adjourn, are there any questions or any comments from any of our board directors?
Yes, President Bradley and Michelle, I was remiss. I was mistaken. Can you change my meeting minutes to abstain for, I was not at the meeting last Tuesday.
Sure. So noted.
So in that case, I would like to go back to the agenda and let's vote on the agenda because that will change today's vote. So is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved,
No.
Days.
Second Flake.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Days,
Aye.
Director Flake,
Aye.
Director Director Hayes abstained, Director Patel,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, and I would like Director Hayes to vote on the agenda. What he abstained from was the meeting minutes. So, Director,
Oh,
Correct.
I'm sorry.
I vote in favor of the agenda.
Thank you.
thank you. The agenda is approved. Thank you. Any further comments before we adjourn today? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Hayes.
Second, Days.
Thank you, directors. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Have a good
Thank
afternoon.
you.
Thanks.
Have a good one.